what you need, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to bring in comedian Howie Bell. Howie, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
What's happening, Frank? How you doing, brother? You all right?
I'm doing okay. I could complain, but ain't nobody damn
You could.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Let me bring in Phil Dick and Jason. Jay, how you doing, sir?
Hey, what up, fellas? Sorry I got on a little late. I'm the only one home, and things happen at the doorbell at the wrong time.
I understand that too. I understand that well.
But real quick, Frank, before you get started, I'm wearing this Inkwell sweatshirt. And you know why, Howie?
Yes, sir.
Because Inkwell is in Massachusetts.
Yes,
and I want Frank to be reminded to talk about Boston sports today. Is at the forefront. We're not going to gloss over what happened last night. This is going to be a reminder. I'm just saying.
No, he act like I'm worried. I ain't worried about that.
You better be worried. I told you your backcourt was buns.
I ain't worried.
We gonna talk. We got a lot to talk about today, in Frank's words.
Rodney Perry over there somewhere. I see you. I see you hiding, Rodney Perry. There you go, Rodney Perry. How you doing, sir?
Rodney Perry got those slave hands.
I don't have no reason to hide.
Rodney Perry out there in that country picking them peaches, baby. What's happening?
It's gonna be one of those days. I see. All right, so
get y'all jokes in before I get warmed up.
All right, let's get ready to get the show started, man. I just want I'm gonna start off soft today because there's a lot to talk about. Howie Bell, I'm gonna put you up there first because, how I always do. Howie Bell first. Here we go. Howie, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, or read the news about it. But the WNBA released their 2026 schedule. It's going to feature a record of 216 games and tentpole games that will be nationally broadcast. It was announced early this morning. This season marks the WNBA's first under its new media rights deal, which features renewed partnerships with Disney, which owns ESPN, Amazon Prime, CBS Paramount, and Scripps, as well as new partners NBC Universal and USA Sports, which combined continued distribution games on NBA TV. So it sounds like to me that the owners, Howie, are not struggling to make ends meet with money that we always was talking about, like especially Jason when he made great points about, trying to find a way to make that money work. You know what I mean? To pay these people. How are you feeling about this, Howie? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I remember a year ago this time we're talking, what Jay was talking about was the WNBA can't afford to do this because they can go under and they may go out of business. Now it looks like they've signed a whole new deal and now the marketing campaign is getting ready to take off. You know what I mean? So, they found the money from somewhere, didn't they? Yeah, so, not only did they found the money to get the deal done, they found money to say, look, we're gonna promote and market this thing. Now we're going to get the kickback. So it was already there. It was about somebody just put together a good business plan. That's all. A good proposal and say, listen, this is how we got to do it to make it work and make it go forward, man. Hey, kudos to the WNBA.
Rodney Perry, when you see this type of stuff with these women, man, getting ready to make this deal, I think they're trying to make the WNBA as close to being as popular as possible with the NBA. What's your take, Rodney Perry?
Well, it'll probably never rival the NBA, but what we're saying and what we've seen over the last maybe 5 years is the NBA done got pretty. Mm-hmm. Right, because I used to get free tickets to the WNBA here in Atlanta, and that's a hot ticket, and they sold out every night. So we see it with Angel Reese, we see it with some of the other pretty girls in the WNBA. The NBA was really a place for our LGBT community to go and watch a good basketball game, and I think they've kind of stopped putting their eggs in that basket anymore. Mm-hmm. And so with that, the WNBA has gotten, straighter, for lack of a better word.
Jay, what's your take on, because you're the one who really opened the eyes up for me on the way from your take on the WNBA. I didn't even look at it from a perspective like you did. What's your take now with the, look, they're making the money work, Jay?
First off, I want to say, Rodney, if any city was going to sell out WNBA, it would be Atlanta.
Yeah.
But in terms of this, you gotta understand, they're giving a full push behind it because a lot of WNBA teams are owned by the same NBA teams in the same city now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that the Liberty are owned by the Brooklyn Nets owner, but Dolan owned them before then, here in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that there's this huge push to actually invest in them and move forward. But what they're doing right now, they're just paying them what they have to pay them because they can't have them working basically for free.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to increase their salary, man, to make it to where they could even keep these players playing for them. And they've lost money for 30 years. They're not going to recoup the investment that they put into them now.
Mm-hmm.
They might recoup it just this year, dude, with the TV deal.
No, they're not. I mean, they're not making enough money, to wipe out 30 years of debt, when they were losing 25 million plus a year.
Mm-hmm. Right,
they ain't making that up right now. It's just that they're saying we're going to invest further because it's a hot ticket right now. And we think long term, that we can get this profitable enough to recoup all of our money. But right now, bro, they ain't never going to make money off the WNBA in terms of ownership until maybe 10 years from now.
Maybe 15.
If things keep ascending.
Yeah.
I don't think they was losing that much because the product just wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
And,
right, I can tell you, bro. They losing $30 million a year for 30 years.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
It's a fact. At least almost every WNBA team.
That's a fact.
Yeah, definitely, that's a fact.
So every team lost $25 million.
No. WNBA lost $30 million as a league every year.
Every year.
The NBA gave them $30 million every year to subsidize that league.
It may not take them 10 years to make it up, though. It may take about.
You're talking about $1 billion TV deals, though. This about
what is 30 times 30 million?
Mm-hmm.
What is 30 times 30 million? And you're talking about revenue. Revenue is the money being generated. They still got salaries. They got to pay out their revenue. They still got arena fees. They got to pay out their revenue. They still got to pay travel. All that stuff, revenue, and then what's left over is the profit.
Yeah.
Then they start taking off that money. It's gonna take forever, to recover that money.
100%.
Assuming everything keeps going well.
And it looks like it's going well.
Right.
How we know? We got to talk about the NBA now, man. Let's really jump into it, man. And let's talk about the games that I don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it because I'm a man of my word. The Boston Celtics, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe combined for 59 points as obviously Philly beat the Celtics 111-97. The Celtics, I got to say this, Celtics took 53s and made 13 of them. Derek White was 4 for 17 on threes just by himself. Howie Bell, when you hear those statistics and you see the game, I'm sure you got a chance to see some of it, or if not all of it. What's your take on the 76ers coming back and beating the Celtics?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of trouble. I say, yeah, after that beatdown in the first game, and to see this type of game, you don't know, man. But it's like this across the board, like we're talking in the chat, like Jay pointed out. But this was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was impressive. Yeah, I was impressed, man. No Joel Embiid, you know what I'm saying? This Maxey on the road, it with Celtics looking like the new cut, like they just revived themselves, and to get popped like that, woo, man, they started smelling themselves. That's all it was. Boston was like, we got this. And they did. They got it all right. They got their ass whipped. And the thing about it is, yes, they did. Because, I mean, they really did, though, if you really think about it.
They did.
Because they're not the better team. And they came out and really, from beginning to end, really, it's like, nah, man, we're going to play this game. And so I that's what I took away from it. Maxey and that Edgecombe guy, oh, my God, bro. Jesus, they was hitting some threes. They was getting bottom net. Bam. I was like, oh, my God.
Dunking on them and everything.
Man, Duncan doing all kinds of stuff. But that goes to show you that everybody in the NBA are professionals, bro. It's all about coaching at the end of the day. As at the end of the day, it's all about how the matchup go, how the coach figure everything out, how they going to play that game for game, man. I love it.
Okay. Let me see what Jay got to say about this. Jay, what's your take on what happened with the 76ers and the Celtics last night?
Hey, I loved it, man. Listen, so I forgot the game was on. I turned to it. When I popped over, to the channel, I saw Philly was down by 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, what Boston doing what they're supposed to do. So I just started doing something, but then Philly started making a run. I was like, I might be good luck for Philly. So let me keep the game on and keep watching this, and I put that on Boston real quick. I put those silly fingers on them. And bro, all of a sudden the game was tied. There was no way I was turning the TV off, man. I believe in that kind of thing. And I watched all of that game and the way it ended. And you can't say Brown didn't play. You can't say Tatum didn't play. You can't say none of that.
There's a full staff.
I mean, it was a full staff. And I told you that your backcourt is buns. If Philly is gonna beat them, if Maxey plays his potential, if Edgecombe plays his potential, that is a problem for Boston because their backcourt cannot match up with those dudes.
Okay. All right. Let me see what Rodney Perry said. Rodney Perry, what's your take?
Look, man, calm down. Calm down. It's one game. It's a series. First 1-4. It's one game. Let me tell you something. You jump on that bandwagon and feel if you want to, you get run into a wall. The Boston Celtics is still going to put hands on the Philadelphia 76ers. Maxey could take a foot in his butt, as far as I'm concerned. I'm telling y'all, Boston just had a bad shooting night. Like he said, they was like, what, 13 for 50 or something? Yeah. That's never going to happen again. And how about this? This is a conspiracy theory. When the NBA wants somebody to improve their odds, they just get beat out of nowhere. So I wouldn't put a lot of stock in this win for them. They got to win. They got to be up 2-1 or 3-1 for me to buy the 76ers nonsense.
You know what, Rodney Perry? The funny thing is, I love hearing these guys talk, but mathematically and statistically, this was the best game the Philadelphia 76ers played all season. So yeah. I like hearing these guys talk because I me, I'm best game they played.
But real quick, Frank, I need Rodney to understand. I'm not on the Philadelphia bandwagon. I'm on the Boston hate wagon. Okay, I'm rooting against them.
Save your hate.
Hey, if you was playing against Boston,
I don't like the little leprechaun either.
You know what I'm saying, Rodney? If you was playing against Boston, I'm rooting for Rodney, even though I know you ain't winning.
First of all, don't lose your money betting that, taking that bet.
Yeah, Steve said he's going to give 2 cents on this, Steve, before I pull you back out. What's your 2 cents on the 76ers beating the Celtics game last night? Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I muted my mic. Oh, sorry about that. All right, listen. 2 things, right? One, I always hop on them about the stupid threes. They should never have more threes than twos. They did it again, 53s. It's an Achilles heel for them. It drives me nuts. And when they're cold, everybody goes cold at the same time, and they don't make them. The other thing is
that's analytics, though. That's analytics. Analytics say take more threes than twos.
Analytics, forget the analytics. That's a Joe Mazzulla thing. Forget that.
They do every game. They do every game.
And the other thing is, I want to touch on what Rodney said because I told you guys yesterday, and I know you guys are going to talk about it. I told you that San Antonio will be in favor by 11.5.
Oh,
what's
boy.
that designed for?
Say that.
What's that designed for? Just what Rodney said. When they want the odds and they want to make money, we lose and they win.
Yeah,
all right, that's it. Frank. Thank you.
All right, so let me jump into the next game. Howie Bell. We put Howie back here. Okay.
And I think Boston was favored by 15 in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably, yeah, they probably were. I didn't even look at the favorites. Okay, let me put Howie in the right spot like I always do. Howie, we got to talk about the next game, and we got to talk about the San Antonio Spurs and the Portland Trailblazers. When the Portland Trailblazers ended up basically winning the game, I was shocked because San Antonio ended up losing the game. But the biggest thing that happened out of that game was Victor Wembanyama getting his head smashed into and I was like, man, on concussion protocol too. The thing that scared me the most, Howie, is that it's concussion protocol. So concussion protocol could last a couple of games. You know what I mean?
Or weeks.
Yeah, it could week. Yeah, it could weeks too. So, Howie Bell, what's your take on San Antonio losing this game? And are you nervous about them winning the series because Portland, Portland got a chance? What's your take, Howie?
Portland put the hit out on Wemby, man. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? They put the hit on that boy.
Mhm.
that was an accident, man. I'm telling you, dog. So no way, only way you can beat this guy, man, is if you hurt him. You know what I'm saying? This dude's like Ivan Drago. You know what I mean? He's
He's not Ivan Drago.
unstoppable. Man. Listen, man. So when he got the game and they won as a result, man. I mean that's all I could think about was if Wemby not playing, people have a chance. You know what I'm saying? If he's playing, they don't have a chance. And that's really my takeaway, you know what I'm saying, from that. Portland it was an even team. It was an even matchup after he was out.
Right. It was even after
It
that.
was even. So you think it was then, So yeah, Wemby is that much of a difference maker, man, when he's in the game, bro. And so yeah, that's just really what it was. It was a telltale sign of, hey man, this guy, when he's playing, this team don't lose. You know what I'm saying? If he's not playing, you got a chance to beat them. They're human.
Rodney Perry, what's your take on this, bro? Because it was shocking.
Look. Let me tell you something. It's called jinxing yourself. Talking about I should be the MVP. I should be this. I should be that. And somebody said it. They say, dude, young buck, calm down. Get a chip first. Let me tell you what he's not gonna get this year. A chip. As long as he land on the floor, he might as well go get him a bag of Doritos. He want a chip. It ain't gonna happen. And don't get. Let me tell you, I don't look at Wemby on the ground and go, "Oh, Wemby, they can't." I ain't gonna say well, they can't. Wemby is the secret to winning. Wemby is a problem because he's not. He ain't binding to the whole. He really think he's doing it by himself, and he's not doing it by you. You need a team. We found out with LeBron. We found out with Jordan. We found out with Kobe. You need a team, and Wemby needs a team.
So what's your take on this, Jay? How you looked at it?
I mean, you just saw how important Wemby is to that overall organization.
Yep.
Because like once he went out, man, the whole complexion of the game changed.
Yep.
Because now the lane is open when the lane was closed. And so for me, man, I still don't believe in Portland like that. I still think that the Spurs are exponentially better than them overall as a team. But if Wemby is out for like any kind of extended period of time, they can get got, man, for real. They can get got.
Yeah, how he ain't lying. He
He is not lying, and I'm laughing because that's so true. Because now what happens is if he's out for an extended period of time, now the Spurs have the coach. They have to make an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't have the same game plan. So like everything changes. And and can they play the same way with the changes and adjustments? I don't know. If Portland get a little bit of courage in them, man, this could go all the way to 7 games. Some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Rodney, you think it could go 7, Rodney?
Let me tell you, they play 35 games. Don't nobody want to see Portland, and less people want to see the Spurs.
That's what you think. Okay, Jay.
Don't nobody care. Like I'm good job, Portland, but guess what? Don't nobody give a damn.
Jay, you got the final word on that, bro. What's your take? What's your rebuttal?
I mean, how do I follow what Rodney just said?
Yeah.
Rodney just said nobody will see anybody playing in this series, so he doesn't care.
They don't. Nobody.
Wemby's a star. And San Antonio has a lot of young players, like first, second, third, fourth year players, who I think are going to be like the face of the NBA moving forward. So the only issue that I'm seeing is it may be a strategy, to like really seriously hurt the team's best player and make it seem like this is a hard foul. I mean, this is something that's crazy.
Yeah,
was it a dirty play? Was it a dirty play?
No.
I don't know, Rodney.
Man, listen, bro. They put the hit out on that man, bro.
It was borderline, man. I mean, like the way he fouled him. I mean, that dude was asleep for like a quick second.
Yeah,
he tried to get up and his legs weren't working.
Yeah.
But he's been bumping his head since he was 4 years old. The boy's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, 100%. Now we got
Probably had a half concussion his whole life.
we got to talk about the other game, man, because LeBron showed out last night, right?
Yes, he did.
LeBron showed out last night. The Lakers ended up doing some work last night. We got to talk about, the Lakers took a 2-0 series lead over the Houston Rockets, and people got to remember this man is 41 years old. You know what I mean? The Lakers didn't have Doncic, they didn't have Reeves, but Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart showed up. They put up the 27-point game performance in game 1 with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and Smart produced 25 points, 7 assists, and 5 steals. And all this happened last night. Man, Howie, I don't know what to say about this. I guess the thing is, talk to me first about the game, and then talk to me about what you think this does to LeBron's legacy. Like just for him, they're supposed to be losing, Howie.
Man, and listen, I think the Phoenix Suns was at full strength. They had Durant in there, didn't they?
Houston Rockets.
I'm sorry, the Houston Rockets. They had Durant.
Durant played. I think he was still a little gimpy, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, they had him play. He played. So
he had 23.
Yeah. So my thing is, man, listen, bro. Damn, man, I'm impressed with LeBron James. Man, this is a lot, man, for him to do at this age. To be able to do this without his 2 other, guns. Hey, man, listen, bro. This is good. This is really impressive. I'm impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about LeBron basically he put hands on. He got physical. He made it physical too.
He did. That's a testament of how his conditioning is. He's in shape, man. That guy is in top tier shape.
What do you think his legacy? How? What you think about that?
He looks good, man. I want to see how far they can go. I don't think they can go too far, but I want to see it at least be a dogfight to the end for him, and then maybe come back and do the last tour next year. But his legacy, he's looking good. He putting some icing on that cake and a little bit of cherry on top. That's for sure. He's doing good right now, man. I'm totally impressed. And for a guy that was not a LeBron James fan at all, man, over these last few seasons, actually, I've learned to appreciate him as an athlete, man. And he's a man. And as a basketball mind, his basketball IQ is up there too. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm impressed, man. What can I say?
Rodney Perry, talk to me about the game. What you thought about the game, and then talk to me about how you think this impacts his legacy as a 41-year-old playing in the playoffs when nobody saw him playing like this in any playoff series.
Man, you know what, man? Me and the guys were talking about it in the barbershop today. Here's the reality, man. First of all, the Lakers are playing after changing the whole game plan, their whole way they've been playing for the last 6 months. They had to change it. And shouts out to the others. Shout out to Smart, Hachimura. All those guys, Connect, all those guys, they all been stepping up, and every night it's a different guy. So it's been a pleasure to watch, and I've been a fan of the Lakers for a couple of years, man. And it's really interesting to watch this version of the Lakers. It's pretty dope. But as far as legacy, we talked about it. I don't think this catapults LeBron in the GOAT status. But it put his ass real close. It put him real close. And I had this conversation. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. One thing LeBron never had. First of all, he didn't have no generational coach. He didn't have no coach. He didn't have a college coach. He didn't have no Phil Jackson. He didn't have no triangle offense. Everybody. So you got to think triangle offense won 11 of the 15 years. So triangle offense works. And coaching works. I think Howie said it earlier. Coaching works. And so now he got a good coach in JJ Redick, who's really candidate, far as I'm concerned, for Coach of the Year. And I think this further solidifies him in all our minds as the best of this era.
All right, Jay, I want you to jump in on this because at the end of the day, I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. I can't front. But I got to be honest, Jay. I need you to talk to me about the Lakers game. Tell me what you thought about the Lakers game. But also when it comes to LeBron's legacy, I got to be honest. It's almost neck and neck to me now. And I'm a Jordan fan. But I understand now how people could be a LeBron leg, and I think this really this puts LeBron in a whole different light now to me. But what's your take on LeBron James in the game last night and his legacy moving forward? You think this impacts his legacy more, less, the same?
No.
No to what you
And like Rodney said, he don't think that it catapults him any further. You can't get catapulted higher than first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To me, he's just proven to all of y'all who was saying that we was crazy, who told you 10 years ago what he was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all was the ones arguing. I was like, dude, I'm telling you what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I see what this dude is. I'm telling you, he better than all of them by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is 41 years old. Last night he had 28, 8, and 7.
Yeah.
You know how many bums LeBron got paid in their career because they balled out playing with him, and then with other teams they found out that they was trash?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He been doing his whole career. That's why dudes are, like the argument's always, man, Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. Jordan had a team every time he went.
Mm-hmm.
And the team, in the years that,
he
that
had
Jordan
a system
did have a
too.
team.
He had a system. He was in a system.
But he had Scottie Pippen, he had Dennis Rodman, he had Horace Grant. He had a lot of great players on his team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the system doesn't work without players, right? So now you're talking about 6-0, but I'm like, but the years where Jordan didn't have great teams, he didn't make the finals. LeBron made the finals with bums, and now you see how he did it.
Wow.
Who the hell is Luke Kennard? Marcus Smart ain't been good since Boston, and that was what, 8 years ago?
4.
You know what I'm saying? He looking like an all-star right now because he playing with Bron. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So tell me anybody who thought that you could lose Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and they be 2-0 in the playoffs.
Nobody would have thought that.
Only LeBron James does that.
Yeah, nobody.
And I told y'all why Houston was in trouble. Because they have no point guard playing against the greatest point guard to ever lace him up.
Jay, I got to give you this. And it hurts me to say.
Can I jump in there a little bit before you say that, Frank?
Yeah, I'll let you jump in. I got to say this. I got to give LeBron his kudos because I don't agree with everything Jay's saying. Because when Jordan lost Pippen went to Jordan retired and Pippen went to Portland Trailblazers and he had a boat, he didn't win either. But I will say this: I definitely got to, I just got to give Jordan, I got to give LeBron his kudos. Rodney, what you wanted to add?
Let's talk about LeBron semen, man. The guy. I mean, this is what we know. We know Jordan semen is not been productive in the world.
It is not productive. It produces cocaine.
So I know we've had conversations, did shows about the effectiveness of Bronny James, but Bronny James is coming to his own. And he's showing flashes of his dad. His semen is still at work. And let me tell you something. Wow. Shoot the club up, Bronny.
All right, that moves me on to the games tonight, man. Howie, we gotta talk about your boys, the Pistons versus the Magic, game 2 tonight. Howie, how you looking? How you feeling? What's going on in the world? And most importantly, what is going on in Detroit? And I'm sure my boy, where D Jones at? I gotta get D Jones on this conversation.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. D Jones probably down there right now. You know what I'm saying? But
He's playing tonight. He's playing tonight.
He playing tonight.
But
the game started at 7, so yeah, he ain't here.
As soon as we done with this, the game tip off. But let me listen, man. People in Detroit are excited, man. They're happy, man. We're not worried at all. I don't think anybody here is worried at all. If they lose tonight, then we'll start to worry. But I think we're gonna tie it up. I think the parity, like I keep going back to what Jay said, the parity across the league is the association, should I say, is so even, man, evenly matched. I mean, anybody can lose. So there is a possibility that the Pistons can lose tonight. There is a possibility because they got to play the game. But I don't think that they will. I think that Bickerstaff had them boys prepared and ready to go. Trust me when I tell you. I have no doubt in my mind the Pistons might win this game probably by 20.
Oh, okay.
Wow. A blowout.
What's your thought process, Rodney? You think Orlando Magic got a chance against Detroit in Detroit?
Oh, Orlando's got more than a chance, man.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-Pistons, but they out there with 9 lungs.
Mm-hmm.
He say Cade down 1?
Cade down a whole lung. So,
he actually playing the best.
You know, he's a great guy. But hey, how about this? This is what you see during the playoffs. You see multiple games playing the same team, getting a chance to get a beat on them. So if you're willing to do the work, doing the homework, and really take a good look at them, you can win. And that's what we saw with Orlando, man. Shouts out to the Detroit Pistons. I would love to see them win, but see y'all later.
I'm concerned, Rodney. I ain't gonna lie. I'm concerned about Detroit because what Detroit is seeing, Orlando's getting, they're getting their legs under them. You know what I mean? Jay, what's your take on this Detroit Pistons versus Orlando Magic game tonight?
It was the smacking that Rodney did before he said, "See y'all later, bro."
Yeah.
I'm eating my dinner.
Hey, man, listen. Hey, I'm with Rodney, man. They got better than a chance.
Yeah, they do.
Because to me, I think Orlando has better personnel overall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Pistons got Cade, Duran's coming around, but Orlando got, they got Bencaro, they got Wagner, and they got the kid who they got from Memphis, who's a dog. So I don't know, man. I mean, I told y'all, man, this is a bad matchup, for Detroit. Like, they got a team that's really deserving. I mean, it should be like no worse than like a 3 or a 4 seed, sitting at number 8 because they had whatever they had going in their season, and they getting this bad draw right now. So I think the Pistons will probably win tonight, because they got to, and the NBA is going to make sure that the TV revenue keeps rolling. Yeah. So, I'll take them to win this one tonight.
Yeah. All right, that leads me to the next game, Howie Bell. We got to talk about the Phoenix Suns and the OKC Thunder, which is probably the only series which I don't think anybody's going to even think it's going to be close. I think this is probably the only NBA series where, in my opinion, that a team's going to get swept because they don't match up right. They're just not playing. It's ugly basketball here. But that's my opinion. What's your opinion, Howie?
Somebody going to go after... somebody go SGA, man. Somebody gonna hurt him. This is
Dylan Brooks.
Somebody gotta get hurt, man. It's the only way you can beat these guys. Like this, almost like with the Spurs. So I don't know, man. The Thunder, man, they look so impressive all the time. They got so many good shooters. It's tough to beat them, man. You know what I'm saying? But I hope the Suns put up a good fight. They can. Anybody can lose though. You know what I'm saying? They can have an all-shooting night, and the Suns can have a great night. And, we can be coming back tomorrow having a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. Even though I don't believe the Thunder will lose, I do believe they will sweep this series. But I don't want to see a sweep, man. I don't think nobody wants to see a sweep.
Rodney Perry, where you at with this, man? Do you think the Phoenix Suns got a chance?
The Phoenix don't have a snowball chance in hell of winning this game. I mean, first of all, they scrappy, but the Thunder are crazy physical. So if anybody gonna get hurt, I hear what you're saying, Howie Bell, but I think if anybody hurting somebody, it's the Thunder. They're just too physical and they big and they imposing. I don't think the Suns got. I mean, Dylan Brooks is the only thug out there, and they just ain't built like that. You ever seen two guys fighting and one guy punched the other guy in the face and the other guy run home? They should run home.
What's your take on that, Jay? From hearing his analogy, what's your take?
Hey, man, the only chance that Phoenix has is if like one of them crazy MAGA militias like hijack the OKC bus on the way to the arena. Mm-hmm. That's it, bro.
So
because
if they don't show up,
right? If they don't just show up,
wow.
Because if they come in the arena and they play Phoenix, they are going to win that game. Mm-hmm. Like Phoenix, they ain't got enough bullets to deal with them. Devin's tough. Like Devin Booker is the only legitimate scorer that they have.
Right.
The young kid, that they traded from Houston, he's good, but he's really inconsistent. So they got like a player and a half plus Dylan Brooks, and you don't know what he really is, except fighting. So I just don't see how they beat OKC.
So
I don't see.
That leads me to the next question, the next segment I want to ask all y'all.
Hey, Frank, before you move on, I was just thinking, man, that whole series reminds me of when I was in the porn industry, man. It's like a all girl scene with no guys, no shooters.
So the day you just watching because you weren't participating.
Hey, just got to stand around, look crazy.
That leads me to this, Howie Bell. You got to name me. I like because I started thinking today. Who's the most surprising player in the NBA playoffs so far? Because we've seen a lot of surprising things. I want to tell you all who my most surprising player is, but I want to hear who y'all's most surprising player is in the NBA playoffs so far.
I'm gonna say LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
And as great as I know he is, actually, but I am surprised that he is doing what he's doing at this age and missing all his pieces. And so I'm gonna go with LeBron James as being the most surprising player in the NBA playoffs this season right now.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you, Rodney Perry. So far in the NBA playoffs, who's the most surprising player to you?
Man, for Cade to make that comeback in Detroit, man, it's so inspiring. And we all kind of know what it is, to suffer from different illnesses and to watch that man face his own mortality and come back and play. That's surprising to me.
And Jay, who's your most surprising player in the NBA so far?
Rodney took mine with Cade, but I'll say somebody different. I'll say the fact that James Harden showed up for a game in the playoffs.
How about that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Finally.
Yeah. There's that. I'm gonna go out there and just say I had Cade, but my backup was Victor Wembanyama until he got hurt. He showed out. He's showing out in the playoffs. But that leads me to my next round of questions. Howie Bell, who's the most surprising team in the NBA playoffs so far to you, whether they winning or losing?
Ooh, I know who it should be.
Yeah, the Lakers. The Lakers. I gotta stay with that. You know what I'm saying? To me, they're the most surprising team. Nobody thought that they'd be up 2-0. Not nobody at all across. I don't Eastern Conference or Western Conference. And and like I repeat or reiterate, missing the key pieces, and especially the Luka and that. So I just think that the Lakers, man. You know what I'm saying? Most surprising team in the NBA. Most surprising player. All that.
Okay. And let me ask Rodney Perry. Who's the most surprising team in the NBA playoffs to you so far?
Man, you got to be looking at Orlando, man. I mean, they down there, and don't a lot of people get to play with the mouse, man, Mickey Mouse, man. And for them to have a 6'7" mouse out there playing, it's just pretty powerful, man. Shouts out to Orlando. Orlando ain't been good since Shaq was down there, and for them to even win a game, it's amazing.
And Jay, who's your most surprising team in the NBA playoffs so far?
I'm going to stay with the theme of what Howie talked about, but I'm going to say I'm surprised that the Houston Rockets are down 0-2.
Yeah, me too.
Like that's really surprising to me. I mean, I thought the Lakers might get one at home, but I didn't think that they'd get both of them against them, especially being down two major players.
My most surprising team in the NBA playoffs is the Atlanta Hawks, because I didn't think they were going to go into Madison Square Garden and win a game. I just didn't see that. And they're playing much better basketball than I thought they would be.
And they outcoached New York.
Yeah, most definitely. Which leads me to this one, Howie Bell. You got to ask this: who's the most disappointing player, team, and or coach? I wanted to add that too, and or coach in the NBA playoffs so far to you, Howie Bell.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, man, he's been disappointing. He hasn't really showed up at all. I know he got hurt a little bit, you know what I'm saying, too, but overall, man, he's the most disappointing player in this playoffs right now. He is a superstar, and he ain't playing like one. You know what I'm saying? He's just not, and the team is not, and it's just he's got to be the most disappointing. Team-wise, I'm gonna say Detroit is a little disappointing for not starting off winning. You know what I'm saying? That's disappointing. Even though I think they're gonna rebound pretty good, it's disappointing. They got the number 1 seed. They're supposed to come out smoking, and and all that kind of jazz. So they're a little disappointed for coming out the gate a little slow, a little sleuth-footed.
Okay, so let me ask you, Rodney Perry, who's your most disappointing player, team, and or coach? You could answer any of them or all of them.
First of all, Howie Bell is the most disappointing guy. He jumped off the bandwagon so fast, man. Come on, Howie Bell.
Sprained a hamstring, didn't he?
Man, he jumped off the bandwagon super quick. Last week we was Michigan all over the place. Now you guys so disappointed. Get out.
He asked me a question, and the question is who was disappointed. I was disappointed.
You let me down, Howie Bell. You let me down.
That's my team. What are you talking about?
You let me
I
down.
could be disappointed in my team. I'm disappointed in my kids. What the hell
I'm
you talking
disappointed in you.
about?
Anyway.
All right, Uncle Perry.
Anyway, but all jokes aside, man. I mean, the parity in the league is really showing itself, man. And these teams are a lot closer than they seem. You know, even the guys even teams that have guys we don't really know. They're not marquee names. They're not big names yet. But these young boys is balling, man. Some of these young boys in the league, even Houston and Segoum, man. Segoum is very impressive. I'm not disappointed in him. You know, like we say, you're like for KD to show up, but I mean, I mean, LeBron and the Lakers did beat them twice this year, back to back. So, you know, I mean, it's still it's proof that I tell you what it's proof that it's proof that playoff experience matters.
Oh yeah.
And the Lakers have playoff experience.
Yep.
Let me ask you, Jay. Disappointing player, team, and or coach. You can answer all three or one.
Disappointing player. I'm gonna say somebody who hasn't played in the playoffs yet. Luka Doncic not getting his fat ass in shape.
Wow.
The fact that like he missed like the last 2 weeks, you know, due to a hamstring injury or whatever. He only solidified why Dallas got up off of him. Because he's in Laker uniform. You know, he had a great regular season, man, but you know, regular season is not what we here for.
Yeah.
Especially for the Lakers, man. If you with the Lakers, bro, they measure their season by championships. Did they win it or did they not? So that's disappointing, the fact that he's unavailable in the playoffs.
I think that's part of the strategy, though, dog. Like, I think that Luka being rested right now is making him get him an ability to make a deeper run than they probably could have made without it.
He ain't played in 3 weeks, man. That's gonna be a lot of rust he got to shake off. You know, going against dudes that's been at it. So I don't know, man. I mean, maybe that's a part of it, man. But to me, he needs to be playing. You know, team. Come on, man. You know, you gotta go with Phoenix, because you gotta say, why did y'all even bother making the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? You know, just mail it in, man. Just say, hey, man, y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even gonna waste the gas money, you know, going to the gym. And in terms of coaches, I'm gonna go with your coach, Frank, because whenever your team is not playing well, he does not deviate from the game plan of shooting them damn threes.
I say the same thing, but that's a whole other conversation. I say the same.
Why don't you say, tonight it ain't our night on the 3-ball, man? So let's go to the mid-range. You know, let's do some motion. You know, get some cuts and get some layups. So at least let the game
go to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that he's doing that again, because that's how you lost to the Knicks last season.
Yeah, same thing. My most disappointing coach got to be Ime Udoka on how he's handling the Houston Rockets right now. He's showing that he has clinks on his armor, because at the end of the day, you know, people think he's one great coach. He's making it look like he's giving an argument to a lot of people saying that he's not a great coach. But that also brings up this, Howie Bell, something I saw today, and I was like, I got to ask the guys this. Perk got on, I forgot what show it was, but he said that the Rockets are the dumbest and most selfish team in the NBA. And I thought about that, Howie. I thought about that. And I understood. At first, I was getting ready to jump all over Perkins. You know what I mean? I was getting ready to jump all over. Then I thought about it, and I was like, you know, what he's kind of saying is kind of making sense. But that's me. I stood back and I said, let me ask the guys this. Do you think, Howie Bell, that the Houston Rockets are the dumbest and most selfish? Dumb and selfish, two completely different adjectives. But do you think they both apply to the Houston Rockets, Howie?
On what grounds, though? You know what I'm saying?
This is what the grounds he was saying. He was saying that they haven't adjusted to, obviously, when Kevin Durant wasn't playing, and they haven't adjusted to the play style, and they don't pass the ball. And because they don't have a point guard, they haven't been utilizing their other strengths that they could use to beat a lot of people. They have the tallest, you know, front court and back court combined in the league. Everybody averages 6'10". You know what I mean? But they're not using what they have to be able to do that. That's what he was saying. And I thought about that. I was like,
yeah,
you know, that makes a lot of sense.
That sounds like coaching, man.
It's
You know what
awkward.
I'm
It's
Yeah,
awkward.
that's what that sounds like to me. That don't sound like selfish. I think it could be a combination with selfish ball play, but I think that sounds more like coaching. You know what I'm saying? Not getting those boys, prepared in a
Mhm.
way where you can utilize those strengths and everything that they're, what they're capable of doing to their maximum capability. To be the dumbest and all that. Those are harsh words. You know what I'm saying? Selfish may be in there somewhere because you become selfish when you ain't doing nothing. Everybody say they try to take over by themselves. So I see that happen a lot too in basketball. When you ain't winning, everybody getting desperate. People start playing individual basketball. So that happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't call them the dumbest. You know what I'm saying? I would just say that they're just not being coached very well right now.
So that's why I think he's saying what Kendrick Perkins meant by dumbest because of coaching. And Rodney Perry, I also want to say that what he said selfish, he makes a great point. He said when they get the ball, it's like a black hole. Like a lot of these dudes don't pass the ball.
Yeah.
So where are you at with this, Rodney Perry? Where do you think what
But when you start talking about Ime Udoka, you got to know a few things. Is he dumb? Is he selfish? Absolutely. This is the same guy that cheated on Nia Long.
Mhm.
So he's already proved us that he make bad decisions. You cannot expect him to come out here and coach these guys to a win when you had the championship and you fumbled it.
Mhm.
I say Ime blues it again. And you know what he had? He had a mouth, and he got LeBron upset one time too. He don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, Jay, where are you at with this, Jay? Like, what do you think? Do you think they're selfish and dumb at the same time, like Kendrick Perkins said, or is he wrong?
I mean, I don't know if he's wrong or not, but you gotta understand they don't have a point guard, and the point guard is the extension of the coach. And the point guard on every team, I don't care if that team is winning with a winning point guard. That point guard is the smartest person on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Because he or she has to understand everybody's job, understand where they need the ball and get it to them at optimal places, to maximize who they can be.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that. They got dudes who are really scorers, who are not facilitators. Their job their whole life has been to shoot the ball, get the ball and score. And now they're being asked to do something different that's not within their skill set. And so they're not learning on the job. So I think it's both and in that being selfish makes you play dumb
Yeah.
because you start
Yeah.
playing hero ball. You start doing things that you can't do, that you shouldn't do, instead of like thinking the game through and figuring out how to maximize that, to optimize everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, big is cool, but like I said, when I played, bro, dude, I'm 5'10". If a dude
You play what? What you play?
basketball, so if a dude switched off, like taller than 6'4", switched off on me, he was barbecue chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was no way he had the foot speed to stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do with that dude because he's not going to stay in front of me. So if you're big like that and you're playing against legitimate point guards, that is their job. Which is why Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf said that when Michael Jordan was guarding him, he gave him like 50 because Michael Jordan don't guard point guards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different job. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to play that position the way those people play that position. And if you're playing out of position, they're going to take advantage of you. So right now, Houston's problem is that they have no Fred VanVleet.
That's the biggest
That
problem.
is their problem.
Look who joined the show. My man
Great,
D Jones.
greatest. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Frank.
D Jones ended up jumping in the show. He wanted to jump in this conversation. I'm sure. D Jones, what's happening, bro? How you doing?
I'm tired of Rodney the Entertainer taking shots at my Pistons.
Yo.
I was just about to say that Isaiah Thomas is the greatest point guard of all time.
To me, yes.
But go ahead, D Jones. I know you got a couple comments. Go ahead, man.
First of all, Ime is going against arguably, LeBron, Ramon, James. You know,
it ain't
what I'm
arguable.
saying? What can you say that ain't been said about going against LeBron, Ramon, James? Okay,
Senior.
Second greatest player of all time, greatest small forward of all time. I mean, you know, greatest flopper ever. And
Wow. I just can't leave it out there.
I'm surprised. E-Man's not stupid. It's nothing he can do. Well, he might be dumb. Why not double LeBron soon as he get the ball? Get the ball out of his hands. He putting up 30 assists. Luke Kennard got 53s. Like, it can't be that hard. We not coaches, and we can see that. Get the ball out of LeBron's hands fast.
All right, I'll give you that.
But D Jones, you can double him. It doesn't matter. He's bigger and stronger. He can see over your double team, get past over it, or just physically through.
I'm playing full court on LeBron. Okay,
can't win that.
You got to try to slow him down. I'm not saying you're gonna stop him.
You got to make him tired. Like, he's 41. You got to make him tired. But they ain't.
And Kevin Durant got 9 turnovers in 2 games, bro. Why is he pushing the ball? I know he ain't got no point, but he can't
no
be
point.
It.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the NFL real quick because I'm looking at the time and tomorrow we're gonna have to dive in more because tomorrow is the preview for the draft because the draft is tomorrow night. Howie Bell. The news is coming out that obviously the teams are making some deals and some teams aren't making any deals. The Dallas Cowboys look like they might be possibly in the market for a first-round wide receiver because Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones told the media today they are no longer negotiating a long-term contract with George Pickens, their wide receiver. The Cowboys will have him play under the franchise tag this season, which is sure to make him upset. And Stephen Jones said it was mainly because of the fact he only played 1 season in Dallas so far, and the Cowboys are also going to be looking at the top of the market, looking for a top of the market wide receiver. That's what they're going to be doing, Howie Bell. Good move, bad move. Where you at with the Cowboys no longer negotiating with George Pickens, Howie?
The Cowboys do what the hell they want to do. You know what I mean? It's pretty much what it is, man. Hey, if the slave driver says Pickens is out of there, he's out. He's out of there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? So they're in the market for a receiver. They're in the market for a receiver, and they'll get one. It's always a good receiver out there, man. Plenty of them.
Yeah.
Well, Rodney Perry, what do you take with Jerry Jones doing with his same thing, same antics?
Well, man, you know what? I mean, first of all, I think Pickens was still a wide receiver, but they forced him to play, have a great season, and I think he will have a great season. But I mean, Dallas needs more firepower.
Mm-hmm.
But how about this? You can't really stretch the field because your quarterback can't throw like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do get a primetime receiver, you ain't get no balls down deep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's pause, no balls, and no, but I mean I would have done the same thing with George though.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have. Well, D Jones, how are you looking at this? This situation with George Pickens and Dallas getting ready to franchise tag him?
He had his opportunity last season to prove himself and make some money. They was like on a 3 or 4 game winning streak. Came to Detroit. CeeDee Lamb went down. It's your opportunity to shine. Yeah. The Lions put them paws on him and shut his money up. Mm-hmm. He had his opportunity. I'm not paying him either, bro. Come out this season and prove it.
Right.
Jay, franchise tag for him was $27 million for George Pickens this upcoming season. Is he worth it to you?
He's worth more, to be honest. Mm-hmm. It's just that Pickens' issues are not on the field. His issues are off the field. Mm-hmm. And that's why Pittsburgh got up off of him, and that's why I think Dallas is hesitant to pay him. Mm-hmm. Because he's that dude, man, like you don't know which cat going to show up. You know what I'm saying? From week to week, from the mental aspects of the game, and keeping his nose clean. Mm-hmm. So they already paid CeeDee Lamb. Their defense is atrocious. I mean, I don't know why Dallas, would even take a first-round wide receiver. Dude, that is not where you need help. You need help on defense because you let Michael walk. Mm-hmm. So what are you even doing talking about a wide receiver? Mm-hmm. Unless it's somebody, maybe in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round, they can find somebody over there. But a first-round wide receiver, why would you even do that? So for me, Pickens is worth it in terms of the talent. But I mean, everything else that he does makes him, a hard person to invest $100 million in.
Okay.
You know.
All right, 30 seconds. Y'all got 30 seconds to answer this next question. I'm gonna go through each one of you all, and it just occurred to me. This question came to me, and I want to see what you guys are thinking. For tomorrow's the NFL draft, which team do you think is going to shock the world with the pick that nobody saw coming? And because everybody, Howie, everybody has this projected thing on who they're gonna pick and everything else. You think it's gonna be a team that's gonna do something shocking, like might possibly trade out of their position and or make a trade before their numbers call?
I think the Raiders. It's right there. The Raiders. I think that they're going to do something. It's shocking and weird, and because that's a weirdo organization, and so I don't even know what kind of monkery they're going to pull off. But I don't. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be what people think it's going to be.
Okay, Rodney Perry, tell me your team that you think, or a team that you think is going to shock the world tomorrow by doing something.
You know what? This reminds me of when I was in the porn industry, man. I had to pick a person, and it was between Wesley Pipes and Mr. Marcus, and I chose Willie Randolph. People didn't know he was unnamed guy, but he proven to be great in the league ever since.
Okay, so that's your answer, Rodney. Okay, Willie Randolph.
Choose Willie Randolph is what I said.
D. Jones, what team is going to shock the world tomorrow in NFL draft?
Receivers, divas, unbelievers, Pistons in 6.
And he threw his pen down. All right, Jay, you got the final 30 seconds of this, man. Talk to me. Who do you think is going to shock the world?
Maybe it's by New York City bias, man, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets, the number 2 pick, like drafted a punter or something. You know what I'm saying?
Not a punter.
An all-star Gatorade mixer with the number 2 pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the kind of decisions that they make around here.
White Chocolate, you in there very fast. Tell me what you think.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Raiders take a tight end, even though they have a top tight end with their number 2 pick. They're not they're going to take the quarterback with the first pick, but they're so stupid that they'd take a tight end, even though they already have a top guy.
I think everybody's overlooking the Giants. I think the Giants are playing on something special because Jim Harbaugh's over there. I think he's going to do something that nobody sees coming because he's already stripping down the roster. He's already adding some players and everything else. And I think he's going to make an immediate impact, in the league next season.
The Giants got 2 top 10 picks.
They do. They got 2.
Yeah, and I think he's
5th and 10th.
Yeah, I think he's going to do something, that we don't see coming. He might bungle those 2 up and get a surprise superstar or something. I don't know. But
to be clear, Frank, the Jets are the team I'm picking to do something stupid.
I believe you. All right, y'all, we got to get roll up out of here, man. Howie Bell, tell everybody out there what you got going on in your world, how they can follow you, and just, keep it up.
Hey man, listen, man. We haven't really touched on this, but Floyd Mayweather is in trouble financially. We don't talk about this, but that's for another day. I wish I had his problems, but hey man, Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL. You can find me right there. That's it.
Rodney Perry, thank you for joining the show today, man. We greatly appreciate you. Can you tell everybody out there what's going on, Rodney Perry?
Hey, you know what, Frank, man? First of all, thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to be on Box Seats, man. I'm out of lotion, so I got to go run to the store right quick.
Yeah. You
got to shoot later on.
We see
Shoot later on.
I got to use these clips. D. Jones, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, man, what you got going on in your world.
I guarantee a victory tonight. Pistons in 6. I'm about to go sing the national anthem and the black national anthem in 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Jay, tell everybody out there in your world.
Bro, listen, I like Detroit, man, but I swear to God, I want them to lose so I can see D. Jones tomorrow.
If they lose, D. Jones ain't being in tomorrow.
I'm just glad D. Jones is still on the bandwagon because Howie Bell is definitely off.
I don't know where you get that from. You just made that up.
All me and JDA is a fan base, man.
I'm going to see the Michael Jackson movie tomorrow, but
listen,
we gonna win.
Hey man, Rodney Perry, just because you're a WNBA fan, don't mean that. I know you are. Don't bring all that. Hey, look, don't bring all that energy over here, bro. That's that Atlanta energy. Don't bring that over.
All right,
Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shoes on Facebook and YouTube tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. All right. So, y'all, we thank you all for watching. The show's called Box Seats. We're going to be back on tomorrow. We still haven't even touched on the Cleveland series, man. We got to talk about Cleveland Cavaliers series. They up 2-0. We got to talk about that and let's talk about the games that happened tonight. And most importantly, tomorrow's show, we're going to focus more on the NFL draft. Thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Hey, what you need, yeah? Man, I got it, wow. What you say, hey?